Hi, Mr. Elijah. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay.
All right. That's good to hear. It's great seeing you again this week. I just want to go ahead and get right into the session. So I'm going to just start talking and kind of reiterating what we went over last time. Before I get started, I do want to go ahead and let you know, give you informed consent, let you know you're not obligated to this therapy. You do not have to tell me anything. You're free to leave at any time. I want to go over the confidentiality briefly. I know we discussed it last time, but just to reiterate, confidentiality, pretty much this conversation is between me and you. As your therapist, only stipulations I have will be if you're threatening to harm yourself, threatening to harm someone else, or if someone is threatening to harm you. Okay, so do you remember all of that we discussed last time?
Yep.
Okay, I just wanted to briefly go over that. And also in the last session, we got a little distracted. We didn't even get to really talk about cognitive behavioral therapy. So I wanted to briefly just reiterate what it is to make sure this is even something that you would be interested in continuing in. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so cognitive behavioral therapy is pretty much the process of pretty much how our thoughts control our moods and our behaviors. So with cognitive behavioral therapy, we'll be identifying your thoughts, what you're thinking in that moment, and how it's affecting how you're feeling. So last time you explained to me that you're feeling depressed because of the pain you're going through due to the loss of your wife and everything. So we're going to try to use cognitive behavioral therapy to help you get through this pain and this depression. And when you're feeling those thoughts or thinking those thoughts, we're going to try to change it into a more positive thought or something else. That way you don't remain in that depressive state.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Is this something that you think you may be willing to try?
Yeah, if it's gonna help me.
Okay. Okay, so we'll give it a shot. Okay, before we get into our goals that we set last time, I want to go ahead and just ask you, how has your week been going? Your mood from the past week? How has everything been working out for you?
Not working out good.
Okay.
I've been going on interviews. I've done applying to jobs, and I still haven't gotten a job.
Okay, how is that making you feel?
Still feel pretty down, depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I don't have crazy thoughts like I want to kill myself, but
Okay.
just kind of depressed, and I just wish I'd be able to find a job.
Okay. Are there any positive aspects to, the past week? Anything exciting happen, or anything made you feel good? Did you go running, or did you exercise, or anything, any small thing that could have made your mood feel a little bit better?
No, I mean I watched the finals basketball game. That was kind of fun. I watched that at the bar.
Okay. And did that give you a sense of happiness, or make you
Yeah,
smile
it
a
was
little
pretty
bit?
pretty neat to watch the finals game at the bar.
Okay.
It's kind of fun, cheering on my team.
Okay, and who's your favorite team?
Well, I'm going for Toronto, but my favorite team isn't playing.
Okay. Cool. That sounds exciting. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set the agenda for today. And pretty much we're going to go over what we're going to be doing in this particular session. And so we're pretty much going to talk about the goals that we established, like the broad goals that we established last time, and kind of try to make them a little more specific. And then any other problems or issues that may have come up during this past week that you want to add to that list, we'll go over that. And also we'll select one of those problems and kind of see where it fits, or go through these problems, see which one you would like to tackle first.
Okay.
And then we'll learn about a technique today, and then to try to help you throughout the next week, and then you'll come back
What
and see how it works. It's a different technique. I have a couple techniques that I think will be good for you, but I want to discuss them with you first to make sure that you think it's something that'll help you out during the week.
Okay.
So we'll get to that a little later in the session. But before we do that, I would actually like to go ahead and talk about the goals that we set last time, and that was pretty much for you, we wanted to talk about your situation with your job, how that's making you feel depressed. We want to talk about your housing situation, how that's making you feel depressed, and then you also mentioned your wife had caused you a lot of pain and made you feel depressed, but you did not want to discuss that. Is that still something that that's not on the table today?
I don't see a point in talking about her. She took all my stuff and the dog. I don't see a point in talking about her.
Okay, well, I just want to let you know anytime in the future, if you ever change your mind, if you ever have thoughts that you feel as though it's something that you need to try to work out or talk about, I'm here and we can discuss that at a later time. I don't want to press you to talk about anything you're uncomfortable talking about. Okay? Okay, so has any other problems besides the ones I mentioned come up since the last? Oh, also we missed the problem about you don't see it as a problem, but your family and your friends see your drinking as a problem. Is that something you want to add to the goal list, or that you think we should discuss as far as your drinking? And that's also a reason.
I don't see anything wrong with it.
But it's also a reason that your job, the reason your job gave.
I think that's just what they told me.
You think it was because somebody younger?
Because I do my work.
Okay.
I get my work done.
Okay. And that's awesome that you get your work done. But if your family and friends and the people around you are saying that it may be a problem, would you consider adding it to
They're just saying that because they don't understand.
Okay, what is it that they don't understand?
They think it's a problem. It's not a problem.
Okay, so what don't they understand? You're saying
that I drink occasionally, like you. You drink probably occasionally, just make yourself feel good, and I just do it when I go out to the bars, like when I'm watching the game, That's all I do. Just have a good time. Like, who doesn't do that?
Okay, well, everyone doesn't drink, but at the same time, I remember from the last session you told me that you had drunk, probably not at your home and you're not working, you drunk maybe 2 12-packs of beers?
Yeah, I drank them sometimes, but...
Is that every day you're drinking 2 12-pack of beers, or...
No, I can't afford it every day, but I mean every other day. But, I mean, I'm home by myself.
Okay, so you're doing that to fill the space in the time, so you don't think about...
Just doing it because that's what I do. I'm not doing it just fill space and time.
Okay. I just want to make sure I clearly understand what you're saying, because you're saying you're home, you're not doing anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I'm home, so that's why I drink, because I'm at home. I'm not bothering anybody.
No, you're not, but I think your family and friends may be concerned a little bit about your health and the amount you're taking in. So, for right now, we'll leave that alone if that's not something you want to add to your goal list. But I do think it's something you should consider or think about later on, but due to the amount of drinking that you say you're drinking 2 12-packs every other day. It can be excessive and it can become addictive. Okay? So would you consider it maybe in a later session?
I mean, I guess so, but...
Just for right now, we'll just work on... So today, what would you consider to be the top priority for us to discuss?
Me finding a job.
Okay. So
I need a job.
Okay, so what has been going on with your job search? I know we discussed in the first session, the last session, that you would go home and do some more job searches, and that's pretty much what you were going to work on until you saw me next time. How has that went?
I've been searching for jobs and getting the interviews, but still haven't received a job yet.
Okay, about how many interviews have you went on, could you say? About how many interviews have you went on, could you say?
Maybe about 2 or 3.
Okay. And this is just in the past week?
Yeah.
Okay, I believe that's a good start. You're just getting started, and you've already gotten 2 or 3 interviews. So that's a positive thing right there. And you say you haven't gotten an offer yet, right? So how are your interviews pretty much going? Like,
they seem to go pretty good. I just don't get a call back.
Okay, do you think it's just a little early, or they are just not interested?
I just think they're not interested because they all say they need somebody right away.
Okay, so if it's just been a week, so I mean, that could be something that they may need somebody right away, but it could have been other interviews. So let's try to think of it something different. I know your automatic thought may be like, oh, they're just not interested in me. And the automatic thought, I'm sorry, I just went over, you probably just went over your head. But it's just your initial thought. What first comes to your mind when you think about why they haven't called you back yet? And you're probably thinking they're not interested in me, but it could just be that it's a process that they have to go through. You know, so you don't want to think the negative right away, you know, because you're just starting on your path to finding a new job. So you don't want to knock yourself down so early. Okay? So what we want to do is we're going to pretty much, I thought when I was going over my notes from last weekend, your job search and everything, when it comes to your job and you interviewing and finding a job, I thought it would be good for you to start setting goals, pretty much as to your mood. How do you want to feel? What do you want to accomplish? How do you want to feel about yourself for the next week? Okay? So a technique that I want to introduce to you is pretty much writing your goals down about how you feel and how you want to feel, your mood and how you want your behavior to portray how you feel, and then the disadvantages and the advantages of you pretty much reaching that goal. Okay? So what you'll do is on a piece of paper, you'll just pick 2 goals for the week. Can you give me 2 goals right now that you think would?
Well, maybe I can slow down on my drinking.
Okay.
And maybe start, I don't know, exercising or something.
Okay. Okay, and what you would do with those 2 goals, what I want you to do as a homework assignment is to take those 2 goals and pretty much write the advantages and disadvantages of reaching those goals or not reaching those goals. Okay? So in the next session when we meet, we'll be able to pretty much discuss those advantages and disadvantages and what is the better way to go about reaching those goals. Okay? And another thing that I think would be a great idea for you to do is to create a thought record. And a thought record is pretty much you writing down your thoughts. Say you're feeling depressed and down, and you have those moments where you're just not feeling it, and you're not having a great day. You went to these interviews and no one has called you back, and you're just feeling really down and depressed. In that moment that you're feeling that, I want you to write down the situation that happened. What was your initial thought? And then from that, I want you to write, okay, is this thought true about me? Or is it not true about me?
Okay.
Okay? And then I want you to bring that back to me next week. So I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on you as far as these assignments. I at least want you to take 3 days out of the week to at least do this, okay? So we can have some kind of research as far as to how you're feeling and what are your moods and how are they changing and why they're changing, okay? So as a brief overview, we just pretty much went over your problems and your goals, that you had the same issues. You didn't give me any new problems pretty much today. So I just want you to think about that. If there are any new goals or any new problems that you want to bring to the next session, you can bring them and we'll discuss them and we'll figure out where we need to talk about them. The main priority today is you finding a job. So I want you to work on that setting goals list and how it can even help you in finding a job. By you exercising, building up your energy, maybe you'll even feel, instead of just going online and doing the classifieds and everything like that, maybe you'll want to get up and go to the library, or maybe you'll want to get up and go walk into a place of business to ask them if they're hiring. Anything, that can kind of get you up and moving so you won't be stuck in the house all day. And that can even aid in you not drinking as much as coping, So that can help you in different ways in a positive way. So I want you to think about doing stuff like that. So we discussed all this stuff today. I did want to reiterate to you that if you started having any of those suicidal thoughts or anything like that, you can always call my emergency number. Again, that number is 904-823-4567, and I gave you the paper last night, and I'll have last session, and I'll have my assistant give you a card as well on the way out.
Okay.
And also, have you ever heard of the suicide prevention line?
Yep, I've called it before.
Okay, so you know all about that, and you know you can call them at any time. How did that work for you?
It worked out good.
Okay, so did they help you, or?
Yeah, they did when I was feeling really, really down. stuff wasn't going too great, and I talked to someone, and it was really good. It worked out good. I didn't follow through with what I was thinking.
Okay, well that's really good. I'm glad that's a great
Mhm.
resource for you. So what I do want to do is go ahead and ask you, what do you think about these sessions so far? About this session, do you think this is going to be something you're going to enjoy doing? How is it going for you in your mind so far?
I mean, I really can't say how it's going. It's only the second session, so it's hard to say. I don't know. It seems like it's okay, but I'll see how it works out next week with this new stuff that you just gave me to try. So I'll try that and see.
Okay, well hopefully it's a positive experience.
Yep.
We can discuss it and talk about it. And is Wednesday of next week a good time to meet with you again?
Next Tuesday at 2.
Next Tuesday at 2. Okay, Mr. Elijah, well, that'll be all for today. Do you have any questions?
No, I'm just ready to go.
Okay, well, I hope you have a good day, okay?
Okay.
All right, you have a good one.
Goodbye.
Bye.